Hello, beloved. It's me, James, and I am here to share a thought with you. Over the last several weeks, we've been talking about doing what is ours to do. That's maybe what we are all called to do. You can't do what is everybody's to do. And sometimes when we try to do that, what ends up happening is we're not able to do anything because we can't do everything. So you can do what is yours to do. You are infinitely precious and unconditionally loved for the gift you already are. And part of that gift is being you and doing what is yours to do. Today, I wanted to take a step back, though, from thinking about what's yours to do, what's mine to do. As you think about engaging this world that may be overwhelming to you right now, may cause you great grief or sadness as you take a look at some of the things you see happening and potentially happening in the near future. One of the important things about engaging in doing what is yours to do is also recognizing that you're finite, that you are limited, and that one of the things you will need, that I will need, is to take a step back sometimes and care for yourself, do some self-care. I hear a lot about that in the world today, and I'm also aware that I spend time with a lot of people, including myself, that are not always so good at doing that self-care thing. I often use the excuse that I'm too busy to do self-care, that there are too many important things that are mine to do that keep me from stepping back and taking a rest. What I realize is that that's a false narrative, and that I'm probably not doing what's mine to do the best that I can do it if I'm not getting things like appropriate rest, space to catch my breath, to catch my perspective, to realize that maybe my perspective is at this moment too myopic. I have to step back for a second. That self-care is actually necessary to do what it is that is ours to do what it is that's yours to do. In the midst of my too busyness, because there's so much to do in the world over the last year, I gave up my regular afternoon walks. They slowly slipped away, but then I only occasionally got them, and only when someone would say to me, "James, you haven't taken a walk today? You need to take a walk." Usually my wife, Linda. And so I would take that walk, but it wasn't really the walk that I needed all the time because I wasn't thinking about my own self-care. I was thinking that doing something other than what I needed to do was selfish. The truth is that taking a step back and taking that afternoon walk actually relieves some of the stress that I feel. It actually opens my mind to the natural world. The early church fathers and mothers understood that the first Bible, the first sacred writing, was nature itself. And that going into the desert, going for a walk, going on a pilgrimage, engaging the body in nature itself was a way to be revitalized, to reconnect, and to lift ourselves up. So, over the last 2 weeks, I have re-engaged with taking a walk. It wasn't always in the afternoon. Sometimes it was in the morning. Sometimes it was in the evening. But each time I savored those opportunities. That culminated in yesterday afternoon's walk. It was a mild November here where I am. It was about 65, 66 degrees. And so I took a long walk into the woods I saw a great blue heron, which is a beautiful bird. You should look it up and look a picture of it up. But it is a very majestic bird. It was in it was in our local pond in our local nature center. It was standing there, just looking at me. Let me take a picture of it and just appreciate its poise in the midst of this pond. Self-care is not really optional. We think of it as an option, and we'll do it if we find the time. But I want to suggest to you that the one who I follow, Jesus, took time for himself, away from the crowds, went up on the mountain, sometimes with all the disciples, sometimes just with 2 or 3 of them, sometimes just by himself. He always made a space for that opening, that caring. And in the midst of what may be a very busy season of doing what is yours to do, it might be easy to forget that stepping away, that catching your breath, that allowing yourself space is a healthy thing to do. Now, another way to do self-care, in all honesty, I talked about some of the positive ways: taking a walk, catching your breath, sitting down, doing something. But sometimes it's stopping doing something for a period of time. If you've been addicted to consuming news because of your concerns about the world and wanting to take it in, maybe it's time for self-care to step back from that. Maybe you've been busy taking care of everyone else without realizing that perhaps you need to take care of yourself too. And that sometimes not doing is a way of making it more possible for you to do the things that you're called to do. And another form of negation might be saying no to some things that are not yours to do. Only saying yes as much as possible to the things that are yours to do. Caring for yourself is not selfish. Caring for yourself empowers you to engage the world that has been entrusted to your care and my care and all of our cares. We are meant to manage our resources. That is the planet itself, that is our time, that is our energy, as best we can. So what are you doing to make sure you have the energy to do that which is yours to do? Practice a little self-care. Take a little breather, maybe after you've watched this video. Whatever it may be, remember, because you're infinitely precious and unconditionally loved for the gift you are, that taking a step back may be the best way to protect what is most precious about you, the gift that you bring into every moment. That's my thought for this week. I encourage you not to give up on the work that is yours to do in working for justice, in bringing peace, in loving others, in standing up, all those things. But also not to forget, take a step back. I wish you all the best in doing that. Until the next time.